what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Money Is Show. This week we have a special guest on the show. As you guys know, I love to interview female CEOs in today's world as they barge through and make and grow their companies, explode their companies, and this is what we have today for you as a female CEO. You guys know we've interviewed Susan Peterson and Miss Utah, and we interviewed Jess Toulson from Mixers, and now we have another one from the Flip Hub. This is Kenna, who's a CEO and founder of the Flip Hub. She has started with simply flipping furniture at 18 years old and has grown into a massive company where now she's getting sponsored by small companies, but also Fortune 500 companies are paying her and sponsoring her, such as Sherwin-Williams and Home Depot. She's working with Mercedes right now on a deal so that she can get to her audience of what she is doing. So we'll ask her a ton of questions today about social media, how to be an entrepreneur today, and mainly we're going to talk about also what it's like to be a female CEO in today's world. On that note, Kenna, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Awesome.
super excited to be here.
Yeah, you're super easy to talk to. We had a great conversation in my office. I have this what do you call it? Not idea, but viewpoint, if you will. I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but you just have a very easy personality and easy to talk to, get along with, easygoing in life in general.
Yeah, until I was 18, my main talent was like making friends.
That was your talent?
Yeah.
That was your one time making
When they
friends?
ask you at school, it's like, what's your talent? I'm like,
yeah,
I make friends.
Yeah, not science. I'm not good at science.
No, don't even talk to me about math. Okay?
I'm good at making friends. Yeah, I know you really do have that personality that's easygoing, fun to talk to. Whatever the conversation was, you were cool to talk and go through it and so forth. Which, on that note, I'm going to talk about that for a second. In entrepreneurship, let's talk about that ingredient right there of entrepreneurs. You think it's an important ingredient for entrepreneurs to have, the ability to network, easy flow, be able to make friends, like you said, easy in high school? Is it an important ingredient for entrepreneurs to have?
Oh, 100%. I think especially as you're starting out as an entrepreneur, when you find whatever it is that you're doing that catches, your biggest asset are your people.
Yeah.
Like you need your people, and you've got to be able to really find who your people are, because there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that as you get going in whatever your journey is, they can see that.
Yeah.
Right? Like other entrepreneurs, good or bad, can see that. And you've got to really learn who your people are. You've got to be able to decipher who are the ones that you can trust, that you can rely on. And they're crucial.
Yeah. I think the ability to, this is the wrong definition, but it gets my point across. I think entrepreneurs that are successful have a little bit of a chameleon personality. Not that they're fake. That's where I said this may be the wrong illustration. Not that they're fake. It's just that they have this ability to find common ground.
Yes.
With anybody on any topic. It's just like, oh, cool. Let's talk about this. We don't have to go this way. We can just we find common ground with people.
Right.
Which makes an entrepreneur likable. Which means you'll grow your network, which means people will want to do stuff with you, hang out with you, be a part of whatever you got going on. Not strictly, but one reason is because you're fun to hang out with.
Right.
Inside of it.
Yeah. My husband and I were talking about that just yesterday, as I was like talking to him about coming on the show. He's like, you have the ability to, you can converse with anybody, which I always thought was just normal, right?
Yeah,
I always thought that was just fine.
Everybody did this.
Right. And then I meet people like my husband, who's still social. He's, he's fine in a social situation, but like, that's where I thrive.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's where you want to be.
Right. And I can come in and I can talk to you. I'm not a sneakerhead.
Yeah, but we talked
about. But I can have that conversation with you, right? Like I can converse with you about that. I can relate to you in one way or another.
Yeah. We'll talk about what you like, don't like about it, but it's irrelevant. Even because you kind of like sneakers and kind of want to get in the world, but even if you didn't, it's almost irrelevant to us as an entrepreneur, because like, okay, well, tell me what you do about sneakers.
Well, and tell me about that. Tell me what that's
Maybe
like.
I'm missing something that I want to know about it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a crucial piece of what makes entrepreneurs successful. I'm not saying you can't be an introvert and not be successful in entrepreneurship, but I just, at least in my life, man, being around people and talking and getting around is part of the whole life of it, right? The blood, if you will.
It's what we love.
Of entrepreneurship. Let's back up. I want to talk to you about how you got started in this unique business of flipping furniture and then flipping DIY kind of your own house. And I want to be clear with the audience, because I've had other people who flip houses, like as investors. And yes, you have flipped houses and made money off of it, but that's not really what we're talking about when you talk about the Flip Hub, which is your Instagram handle. The Flip Hub is more about you are going in as a DIY, taking your bathroom, kitchen, living room, whatever it is, and then completely redoing it and then filming the whole thing.
Right.
For everybody to watch.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not flipping houses.
It's flipping spaces.
Flipping spaces. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's back up. How, you told me a story about when you were 18. Let's back up to there of how you kind of got into this world.
So at 18, I inherited my great-grandma's bedroom set. It was a really, really cool piece. I kick myself now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wish I had kept that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
They don't make furniture that way anymore.
No, they don't. I inherited this bedroom set, and it was yellow. And
Okay.
I was like this 18-year-old, and I was like, no, I'm going to paint
Senior in
it
high
black.
school, yeah.
Yeah. So I bought a can of spray paint.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do this. I was always that kid growing up that was like, I drove my mom crazy because I was always like, okay, I need to do something. Let me find a plan. Let's figure this out. Like, I wanted to create. Mm-hmm. And so when this happened, I started to create this piece, right? Like, I started to paint it. And after I was done, I was like, I think I'm onto something.
I like this.
Like, it looked good. It turned out good. I loved it. And I was surprised that other people thought it was cool.
So on that note, did you take any painting artist class in school or anything?
No,
Okay.
no. And I come from a family like my sister, I have multiple sisters who are very musically talented. My brothers are like insane artists. I cannot draw a stick figure. Like I drew a picture of Olaf for my 2-year-old and I tried to draw Elsa. My 6-year-old comes home from school and he goes, I think that's Elsa. And he kind of pauses and he goes, I think that's going to give me nightmares. Like, that's my artistic ability, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that I had this ability.
But is it fair to say that in your family, it sounds like your brothers and sisters that you included have an artistic gene, it sounds like, inside of whether it be music or drawing or art or in your stuff, breaking stuff apart and then rebuilding it better. Mm-hmm. It kind of has that gene inside of all of you guys?
Yeah.
Was it mom and dad had it?
Yeah, so both of my parents, I mean, my mom will deny that she is like artistic in any way, but she can sing, she's musical, she can play the piano, she can draw. She says she can't draw. My dad can draw. My dad is, So and my dad is also musical. Like, there's a lot of that. And I always felt like as a child, like, well, okay.
Let's do this. Let's put this here. Let's have you sing.
Oh my
on
gosh.
the show. Everybody sings.
So I'm tone deaf, is what I'm getting at.
You didn't pick that piece of the gene.
No.
So you have this artistic side of the family, and in 18 you start painting your grandmother's inherited furniture. Mm-hmm. Last question I have on that were your parents or other family members did get upset at you for painting grandma's furniture?
No.
Nobody got upset.
And
nobody cared.
I don't know if my grandma knows.
Yeah.
To this day.
That you did it?
I might have to break it to her.
Yeah.
But no.
Okay, no one say that. I didn't know if they were like, how dare you paint grandma's
The internet people
set.
might be mad about that, but we don't have to
your
tell
own
them.
family's not mad at you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The internet family is. All right, so you do this at 18. You get this like bug of like, dude, I actually enjoy this, good at it, I want to do more of it. Where do you go from there to flipping furniture, doing more of it? Where's the story pick up?
I mean, it kind of teetered off, right? As I'm 18, I'm going to college. I lived in China for a while. I did a few different things. Then I would flip furniture. And like I started to create. Like I remember trying to build stuff for my dorm. I made a wreath for my dorm. I skipped class to make a wreath
you had to.
for my dorm.
Yeah,
it was important. It was really important.
Yeah.
But then it kind of just, as it died down after I got married, it was like, I can make money doing this. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna figure out how to make this happen. And I started it just kind of steamrolled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm flipping this furniture, and then it kind of got like, well, if I can paint a coffee table, if I can paint, a nightstand, well, why can't I paint the wall? Mm-hmm. Why can't I build a table? Why can't I, so it kind of was just this learning curve. And I did grow up watching my dad do woodworking, and my brother, they were very like hands-on with things. Like we had an addition on our house, my dad did the whole thing.
He built the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the other cool things that happened, right? So I inherit this bedroom set. Right after I get married, from my grandpa, I inherited a table saw and a chop saw.
Okay.
Right? And so it was like,
perfect.
And I think back, and like a chop saw, that's pretty normal, but like most people don't have a table saw.
A table saw is very unique.
Yeah. So like I inherited these things, and I was like, well, I can do anything now.
Yeah.
So then I just kind of started doing these other things. I started this other business, painting cabinets, and that, as you know, it's a lot of work.
I think it's one of the worst things.
Yeah.
And sanding drywall.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just freaking hate standing truck.
Just
It's
covered.
just the worst.
Yeah.
The absolute worst.
Yeah.
So uniquely, so if I understand it right, the story, you basically did it, kind of caught this bug, if you will, and as a senior in high school, that you found this kind of talent, but you didn't go from there to senior year of summer building a company, starting a business.
Yeah.
You basically kept going down the normal senior path, if you will, until eventually kind of just circled back in your life that it was there, and you're kind of good at it, and you got married, and that's when it started developing into, man, I'm over here working at $12 an hour, and I probably just go back and flip grandma's bedroom set because everybody wanted it, and make money off of it.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of just literally like started with you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. I just love breaking down like the psychology and DNA of entrepreneurs. Would you say that you absolutely love DIY projects?
I do.
Like
I do.
if there wasn't Instagram, I know you get these awesome sponsors and you grew this thing, but if it was just you, your husband at the house, are you still a person of like, oh, I'm gonna go do this DIY project right now just because I want to?
Yeah.
So you actually truly love, because some entrepreneurs just, I do because I make money off of it.
Right. Well, and there are parts of my business that I do because I make money, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
However, I mean, I still, and that's actually been something that I've kind of like had to go back to, because I think as an entrepreneur, you start doing something and you love it, and you have to kind of reevaluate, okay, why do I love this? Like, what about this? Is this worth my time? As a mom of three kids, right? Like, I've got to really think about how I'm spending my time. And so I do like backtrack, and I'm like, you know what? Even if it wasn't for Instagram.
Correct.
And also like, Instagram is a whole world in and of itself, and it can be really, really hard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so I have to be able to step back and say, okay, without Instagram, if I wasn't showing people this, if I wasn't teaching people this, would I still be here? And the answer is most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would still be building a shop. Like, I still would be doing that because it's what I love. It's what I enjoy. And for me, when I started flipping the furniture and when I started getting back into it, it was a double-edged sword in a good way. Okay. So I was making money. I was able to make money doing this, but we were also, when I started getting into it with my husband, after I was married and I was doing it more, we were dealing with infertility. So I was able to make money doing it, which is what we needed. We needed money.
Right.
But also it was very therapeutic. So I have the benefit in what I do as an entrepreneur is like oddly beneficial for my mental health. Where it's like my business is like really hard on my mental health, but like in order to help my mental health, I paint a wall or I build something. So it's
very, very true, and it's very unique to have that. Most of the time, entrepreneurs live in a lifestyle that's so stressful. It's not that they don't love what they do, but it's not therapeutic on the same hand. They may love it, but it doesn't give them the therapeutic side of it.
Right.
In my world of business that I do, what me and you did today, this morning, this is my therapy that I just am like at a very calm, therapeutic place when people come to my office and we sit and talk about business and we're like, hey, what's this? Let's draw this out. What would this look like? What would you do here? I am at just peace, like therapeutic.
It's almost invigorating, right?
It gives me energy for the rest of the week of what's going on.
Yeah.
And when you think of it, the girl I'm dating right now, she loves to cook. And my mom cooked all that time growing up, but she didn't like love to cook. So if we go out to eat, we would go out to eat or whatever it was. But Cass, dude, she like goes home and immediately starts cooking from work. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm cooking. I'm like, aren't you tired and stressed? He's like, oh, this makes me feel great. Yeah. And it's like a full course meal. I'm like, we could order pizza if you wanted to. But for her, it's just like a therapeutic process of like de-winding almost. So to have an entrepreneurship is very, very, very unique. And I don't think most entrepreneurs get to have that. So that's super cool that when you want to, you can go paint that wall or you can go build that thing. Probably not sanding. That's not therapeutic.
No, and don't ask me to do cabinets, okay? Cabinets are not therapy.
I hate that side of it. So you this is unique because you're the person that, it sounds funny, but it does not sound funny, it's the truth, is that you're the person that people in grade school inspire to be now. Does that make sense? If you ask kids today, there was research done, if you ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, when we were kids, it was like, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a police officer, I want to be a astronaut, I want to be the president, baseball player. Kids now are like, oh, I want to be be an Instagrammer, or I want to be a TikToker, or I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be influencer. Is what they basically said. That's like that actually research. That was the number one answer.
Really?
Number one answer was basically in the ballpark of influencer, right? If you took TikToker, YouTuber, Instagrammer together, they call it influencer. That was their number one answer.
Wow.
Which is crazy because like when, I don't know your age, I'm not going to ask your age, but when I was in school, that was not even a thing. Like it actually didn't even exist.
I was gonna say, I don't even, like, cell phones were new.
Yeah, I was Zach Morris style.
Yeah.
With the cell phone.
Yeah.
There was no screen on it.
No.
Yeah, no screen. Yeah, the little snake game.
Yes.
It came out,
Yep.
and I got addicted to that for missed a semester of college.
Do
by
any
playing
of us actually know how to play that game? Like, is there like an end?
I don't think there's
to
even
that
an
game? I don't
end.
think
It
it's
just
a
keeps
snake.
going, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but now you're literally the person that young kids aspire to be, which is think about it. It's kind of unique, right?
Yeah.
You built this following on Instagram. Let's talk about social media in general for a second right now, right? A lot of people, myself included, are working on building their followership, their database, if you will, inside of it. What made you go to Instagram when you started over the other ones?
Instagram for me was more, okay, so Susan talked about this. When you're a mom, you do the one finger scroll.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
you have a baby on the side.
Yeah, I've got a baby. I'm nursing or holding my kid or whatever, and I'm doing the one finger scroll because that's what I can do.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, Instagram was the platform. That's where I was at.
Interesting.
Right, I was hanging out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook was still there, and when I initially started flipping furniture, I mean, Facebook was where I was at.
Sure.
Right, like because Instagram didn't exist. I remember when I went to China. So after I graduated, went to college for a while, went to China, and when I came home, I remember Instagram was a new thing.
It's a new thing, yeah.
And I remember just kind of being like, okay, cool. I remember taking a picture, you have like the different filters and putting that on there. Anyway, it kind of just became the hangout for people my age, right? That's just where we were.
I think it's one of those things where it's depending on where you felt in year-wise of certain things. And so I fell in to the Facebook group. And so for the first long period of time, I was in Facebook and only Facebook. I was like, screw Instagram. That's the I think at that time I was calling it not the young kids, but I think I was calling it the girl side, because all photos and videos, And on Facebook, I was one of those arguing about college sports and with people, and I was like, I can't put a picture up and argue my point with all my buddies. And so I kind of found that Facebook group. It took me a long time to like get out of it, which I hated because I feel like I've missed like the growth of Instagram, the growth of TikTok and so forth. So I kind of grew up in that Facebook world, and now I don't even log into Facebook anymore. Do you?
I mean,
I will if I post something on Instagram.
It goes to Facebook.
I'll put it on Facebook, but I can't even tell you the last time I don't actually went over there to make a post for Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I made a post for Facebook. I will go over there occasionally to Facebook Marketplace has good furniture. Sometimes, yeah.
It's true. So on the furniture side, that was actually, I told you I posted some recently. Cass was over there posting on it. Okay, so talk about how you grew your followers. I mean, you're at 121,000.
Yeah.
Is that right now on Instagram?
Yep.
All organic.
Yep.
No fake followers or bots that people buy on Fiverr and everywhere else.
Right.
And no, you didn't go spend $1,000 a week on ads or boosting. It's all freaking organic. Now, this is the point I want to make, because sometimes people hear when they're out there, they say, "Oh, she has 121,000," but Drew, you've interviewed people that have 2.4 million.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a big difference, though. Now, if I had 2.4 million, I'm sure you'd be the same way, that was as engaged as your 121,000, I would take the 2.4 million if they were that engaged. Your 121,000 are highly engaged with you. So it's not that, this is why people will sponsor you, is because your engagement is freaking through the roof on this group. Go about how you kind of went about building this group and this family, if you will, that follows you.
Yeah, so it is really cool because I'll get DMs from people, right, that I recognize their name. I know who they are. I know that they've been around. It's really, really cool.
You've never met them.
Never met them.
But you just see them periodically comment and like something and post something or share something that you have. And you've seen them enough that you know their little profile picture and it hits quick.
Yeah, so it's really cool. But I think the benefit, granted, the DIY space, people love, it's instant gratification for them.
Yeah.
Right? They see my bathroom, what it was. I did a 2-week challenge once. I renovated my bathroom. It was, let's see, 2 days, $200 to renovate my bathroom.
$200? Oh my God.
Yeah, so the power of paint.
DIY. Oh God.
So, but when they see that before and after, I mean, people love that.
Yeah.
They love to see that. So I have that benefit, but then also like the power of stories.
Okay.
Like that connection with people, right? So stories is not necessarily to grow your audience. You're not going to grow from sharing stories. That doesn't pop up to other people. The before and after is what people on the Explore page, that's what they're saying, right? But then they come to my page, they click stories very first, and they can see like, I'm actually like a relatable human being.
Okay.
I'm not ultra fashionable. I'm just normal. I'm just a normal person. And I think my audience, who are also normal people, can relate to that. And so not only do they see the before and after, they see what I'm doing, and that is intriguing.
Okay.
But then they come over to my page and they see like, this is an intriguing person, human being. Like there's actual connection there. I'm not afraid to get on. I should maybe be afraid to get on. Like some of the ways that I do, no makeup, like probably have spit up on my shirt, whatever. But it's just like, I'm not about to necessarily put on a facade for people. I'm really comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that shows, and I think it not only like makes people feel welcome there, but also gives them that confidence. So it's just kind of this like continuous like follow, engage, grow, like really connect. It's that connection, right? That is the goal. That is why we are here as people, is for that connection. That is what we all want. So if you're able to find that, you want to keep that and you want to foster that.
People, myself included, people long for connection. It's just part of human nature that you're really not going to get away from unless you maybe live on some island as in a straitjacket. People need human connection. That's why like COVID was such a sucky period, because it took away all human kind of literal connection between us. But having that human connection is one way that people for sure connect on social media, because they can relate to you. And I think two things that you brought up right there that I want to go back to. One was you brought up the authentic side. A lot of people on social media talk about, oh, you gotta be authentic, you gotta be authentic. I think it's a word that's get freaking overused so much.
It's easy to use.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I gotta be authentic.
I'm so authentic.
Inside of it, but you then said, no, man, I'm on there with no makeup. I got baby spit up all over me. My nails are not done. Whatever it is, right? They're just like, dude, this is me today. This is where I'm at in life.
This is what I look like.
That is truly authentic, right? There's not a filter on it.
No.
That's helping cover something up. Where sometimes you go to people's Instagram, and I think Instagram has became the most fake on social media.
Yeah, it's the things you can do.
Yeah.
And
it also kind of birthed out of pictures and videos and so forth, and so I think just naturally with all the, like you said, the filters, it just became this place of like, this is what I look like. Wait, pause, edit, filter, switch, delete, and there's like 1,000
whiten,
skinny. Yeah. There's 1,000 like apps that you can go on and do this, change this, and it's like, whoa, dude, you're not even the same person. I think there's that authentic piece that people sincerely love about you. This is what I was saying when I got on the show earlier with you, is like, you're just a real person that's easy to get along with and communicate with. And I think that same real person, when you walk to my office, is the same real person on Instagram that gives that authentic side to it.
Yeah.
The other piece that you said, that just as a newbie, if you will, in Instagram, that I thought, oh, cool, that's how one way you're doing it. I never put that process together. I never really studied Instagram, but you're making your post, which new people can see.
Yep.
And then you said when they come to your page, they hit stories normally first.
Yes, people go to stories first.
And they kind of can see who you are as a human, if they like you or not.
Yeah.
And because kind of like stories, is it fair to say stories are like behind the scenes of your life?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, so like your main feed, like that's your highlight reel.
Okay.
Right? Like that's when I'm gonna show you my kitchen, the after, and it's gonna be
before
clean.
And after. I gotcha.
My kitchen's gonna be clean. When we're on stories, there's dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of the analogy to like all of it.
Okay.
Right? So it's kind of just when people go, right? When people come to your Instagram, they see you on the Explore. Then they're going to go over to your stories, and instantly to get to know you, you can have that about me, right? So a lot of people will say you need to have your about me because that will tell people in that highlight who you are, what you do, why you're here, whatever.
The about me as like a highlight?
Like a highlight bubble. Yeah,
on the
yeah,
bubble?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just helps people know instantly who you are and what you do, and it builds that instant connection.
No, this is great information. Like I actually never thought about it. I don't have an about me. I have tons of like highlight bubbles, but none of them are just like, hey, really quick in 60 seconds, if you will. This is who I am and what I do.
Right.
Like I don't have that anywhere on my page actually.
Right.
And so in your stories, let me ask you this: when you post your stories, just on a normal scenario day, how many stories are you kind of posting throughout a day?
Oh, I try to do. So there's like, we could get into the algorithm of it all, and it changes every day. But if I'm doing a project, a lot of the time when I'm on my audience, more so, I like to show the behind the scenes. But a lot of the time, if I'm showing the behind the scenes, I'm also doing a project at the same time. So I would say, gosh, like 20 maybe.
Whoa.
Is that a lot? Hang on, let me think. Don't ask me numbers on air.
I have no idea. I don't know if that's a lot or not. I'm saying like for me, I'm like around the maybe 3 to 5.
Like different bubbles.
No, stories across the top. You had like scrolls 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So like in a normal day for me, maybe I have like
3 to 5, really?
3 to 5 stories in a
So I would
in a
say
day.
like.
So I need to up my game is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what your goal is. Right now what I want to do is like, it's easy to be like, oh, I want to grow, I need to grow.
Yeah, everybody wants that.
What about those people that are already there?
True.
And I think it's so easy. You don't want to forget the people that are in the room with you.
Well, they're already in your tribe.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in social media, especially, people are like, I got to get to 500,000. I got to get to 1 million. And they forget, dude, all these people are already diehard fans of yours, and they're here to follow you. You should keep nurturing them along this process.
Yeah, and it's easy to get caught up in that, right? And people do like, well, what about the unfollows? Great.
All right, let's talk about negative comments.
I'm lucky in that, like, with the space I'm in, I don't get a ton of negativity.
Okay.
But really, like, I had an experience once where I had a really scary experience with my son at school. He wasn't there at school when I knew I had dropped him off. Anyway,
out.
Yeah, so I shared that story, and I kind of talked about one of the devices that I use. He has like a watch phone, right?
Yeah.
And
is it like the Gab?
Yeah, it's a Gab. He has a Gab watch. Awesome. Love them.
Love them good.
But people thought that it was an ad. And it was genuinely just me sharing.
Oh.
And when that happened, people thought I made up this story for an ad.
No way.
And like me as a person, I'm like, I'm honest, I'm transparent with you. And so I did have a conversation I had a few negative comments, but I did have a lady really, really come at me. And I think in that space, it's so easy to like just like fight. And I kind of just came back at her and I was like, look, like I totally see where you're coming from, but like if you know me, you know that is not my intention. And I kind of just explained to her, like, this wasn't an ad at all. Like, do I have a discount code for you to use? Sure, I will give it to you if you want it, but that's not why I'm here. I'm genuinely here. I'm here to help my community. I was sharing with you this horrific thing happened to me, and thank heaven that I had this, to fall back on type thing. But I try to communicate with my audience, and a lot of the time when people have a bigger following, I get a lot of the time like, oh, like you actually responded to me? And I think that's the thing too, is people don't think you're gonna read the comments. They don't think you're gonna see the messages, but that's not the case.
Well, I think on your point there though, that a lot of times on social media, you'll find people, I'm not saying right or wrong, but they hawk or pitch anything they can possibly find. And I'm not saying, again, good or bad or right or wrong, but that's just how they generate their income. They have a following from whatever it was, they were funny, whatever it is, and now they're pitching this thing, and they're pitching this thing, and they're pitching this thing. And a lot of times I try to find these interesting ways, right, to pitch this product, if you will.
To kind of deceive. It's almost deceiving, yeah.
And so there's this piece of it where, like, now on Instagram or actually on all social media, like, I think everybody has their BS meter, like, super freaking high.
Super high, yep.
Super high.
Yep.
And even, like, if I'm scrolling TikTok or see anything, if it even remotely says sponsored, I'm, like, moving as fast as I can past it inside of things. So I understand, because, again, so much of social media is like, you follow me, let me sell you this random toothbrush over here because you probably brush your teeth now, type of thing, right? it's very unique. We talked about this earlier. Is like of what to take to your audience so that you don't offend them. So you don't, because they are the ones that are following you nonstop. And on the some hand, sometimes you just have crazy people that it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're gonna blast you for whatever it is on it. So that's good. You'll have a lot of negative feedback or what do you call them? Keyboard warriors that exist. I thought you would, because like, again, here you are taking this bathroom from here to here.
Yeah.
And I would think that people would be like, oh, I would have never used this type of material. I would have used this type of material instead. That's so weird that you decided to paint it with oil-based versus this. Like, you don't deal with a lot of that, people saying how they would have done it differently if they were in your shoes?
Yeah, I mean, I get that a little bit. So the funny thing is I'm in the world of a construction as a female.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
A lot of the time, if I get clapback, it's from Bill, and he's 55, and he has done...
Builder Bob.
Yeah, he has done, I don't know, drywall for 25 years.
Sure.
And he can't believe that I'm going to use a butterfly patch versus, whatever.
Yeah, I cannot believe this. You are going to use a butterfly patch.
Yeah, and I'm like, so it's funny that way, but the thing is like, I think it's naive to say, I don't care what people think, I don't care what people say, because we do care. But like, at the same time, Bill from Ohio, like, that's so awesome. You keep doing your patches that way.
I support you.
Yeah, you go, Bill.
If you stop and think about it, it's very unique that someone would take that much time out of their day.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing that I will stop and think about, because again, I agree with you on this point. It's like, when someone makes a negative comment, I'm like, oh, dude, well, that sucks. Like, that actually hurts a little bit, actually, that you said that about me.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to think that one through. And it's like, the thing I always go back to is like, dude, but why would you take the time out of your day, A, to watch it, and then B, to sit there and write this negative, hateful, whatever it is, like venom post to me to go read? Like, how did that benefit you as a human?
Yeah.
And then I start feeling actually like sorry. Like, man, I'm glad I don't have that much negativity in my life that I go and just attack people for no freaking reason.
Yeah.
Because I don't like how their outfit looks that day or whatever it is, right?
Right.
But good for you, man. That's awesome you don't have that much negative comment. Let's go into the construction world, though. You're a female that lives inside this construction world, which obviously construction has been dominated by men.
Yep.
Probably from the beginning of time and still to this day.
Yep.
Mainly a male world. And now here you are inside there doing DIY projects inside of it, which it was that old, what was that old show, the original, like This Old House?
This Old House, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it Bob? Wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, he has like
name?
a website now.
Yeah, he actually used...
Bob. Oh my gosh.
So close. I didn't want to interrupt you because I know the thought.
It'll come to me probably in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay?
So Bob was on This Old House. That was the guy that was literally like on Saturday morning doing DIY projects.
My dad was watching that.
Yeah. And now there's you on the Flip Hub doing all your DIY projects. What is it like on that side? Being the female into that world.
So it is. I mean, you will get people that like are snarky about it. And I don't want to get on this like feminist like soapbox, right?
Sure.
But you get clapback for like DIY, right? DIY can kind of have a bad connotation. When people in the construction, I mean, I shouldn't generalize, but like a lot of the time it's like, oh, she's a DIYer,
Okay.
She's, and it's okay. That's totally okay, because really, I am learning. I'm learning a lot. I've learned a lot, and I'm teaching people how to do this. So it's kind of interesting when, my husband is also in the construction world, and he'll have people like, hey, can you, how did you guys do the tile in the bathroom? And my husband's like, honestly, you're gonna have to call my wife. Because my wife does tile. I do not touch tile.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think it's been kind of cool to see, to help make that change almost.
Yeah, because it is a new, I don't know, less than 10-year-old of females coming out on the DIY side, on social media, using social media as their platform, like Bob had the TV, and using social media to go out there and say, dude, I can cut this wood, trim this, edit this, whatever it is, inside of it. So it's a new like emerging market, and it has a unique following behind it.
Yeah.
So in your demographic, would you say more women are following you, or men, or half and half?
Oh, I'm like 97% women.
Really, 97% women on that side. I did not think it'd be that high. I figured it'd be mainly women, but not that high of women.
Well, you think like men have been given permission, since the dawn of time of construction to do this.
Yeah.
Women have not been given the permission
Yeah.
to operate a saw.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not even saying like permission by the men, right? Permission by yourself. Like, well, this is what my husband does. Like, if the faucet is
it kind of goes in a box over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's like, hey, my husband goes does that.
Yeah. If the faucet's leaky, he's gonna fix it, not me.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's kind of like this new thing where it's like, actually, let me show you how to do that.
Yeah.
So it's,
as you have your following, kind of they call it tribe, if you will, and you have this 97% of female followers. Do you find that a lot of them are watching you because they inspire to be you, like they want to go cut wood and actually build stuff, or that's when they're watching you, or they're watching because they love to see your designs and elements to go apply to their house, but they don't want to do the do-it-themselves project side? I
think it's a good mix. I can do a lot of more difficult things, but my audience, I like to show them the basics. I want them to know how to do the beginner things, or how to pick their designs, or what's going to work and what's not. So I think I get a good mix of those who are there simply for the inspiration, simply because they like to see the before and after, that instant gratification. I cannot fault them for that.
Sure.
But then there's also people there that are like, okay, I need you to teach me how to install this tile floor. How am I going to do that? What products do I use, right? And then I can teach them. I can
break it all down from backer board to mortar to grout, spacers. I hate all those items as I'm coming through my head.
To the hours and hours and hours of time they will
saw,
spend
dry saws,
cleaning. Yeah, exactly.
All those fun topics there. Yeah, so you have a mixture of both of them on the site there. When you recently wrote a ebook, what was the play with the ebook? Why were you doing it?
So when I started, right, it was all about flipping furniture, and I learned that not only did my people, if they were there from the very beginning, that's why they were there, is because they were seeing me flip this furniture.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was like, well, I can teach people how to do this for sure. The benefit of it for me was that I made money doing this. And my demographic is 97% women, right?
Sure.
And most of those women are from ages like, I think it's like 25 to 35, maybe 40, right?
Okay.
Those are women that are my age, that have young kids, that are beginning to get that like financial freedom, or want that financial freedom. Maybe they're trying to pay off a car, or they're paying off student loans or whatever, or they just want some extra cash, right? Like they're in the beginnings of things, and if they can flip this furniture, they can have extra cash. And so I kind of was like, well, I can teach people how to flip furniture, but better yet, I can actually teach you how to make money while you're flipping furniture. And you can buy this ebook, and I can promise you that if you follow these steps, you're not gonna make your money back, you're going to make your money back and then more on top of it.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool, because the response I've gotten has been, granted, like making money off of it, right? That's really, really cool, because it's my 10 years of experience. Like,
all bundled up.
Yeah, it's all bundled up, and that's really, really awesome. But like to have the response from these women that are like, I bought this for $20, I sold it for $400 in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yes, go you. That is freaking awesome. Like, it's almost more exciting for me to be like, what'd you guys sell? What'd you make? What'd you flip? Like, I want to see, because I am genuinely pumped for these women, because I know, and men, there's a few men.
The 3%.
Yeah. But I'm like genuinely excited for them, because I know what that has done for me, right? I know what painting that first nightstand did for me. It was awesome. Right? It's grown into something I could have never pictured. And if I can help one woman, one person, like that's awesome.
Yeah, because think about it is like, I'm thinking about a buddy of mine who literally started his whole career by flipping couches. That was his thing out of college.
Crazy.
Like he had to make money, and he had like a kind of a job that was taking a lot of his time up, but he needed extra money, and he somehow or another just got into the world of flipping couches and would pick them up on different free locations, clean them all up, repost them, and had a followership of people that would come and buy his couches off of him, and that led into a massive multi-million-dollar business. Not flipping couches, but it was flipping couches to flipping houses to flipping apartments. It just kept going on and on. And it kind of has that same theme to it, where you don't have to get into the whole other side of it. But like you said, for a lot of stay-at-home moms or dads, but stay-at-home moms that are there that could pick up an extra $400, $500, $600 a week, a month, while doing all the full-time chaotic mom stuff that's already going on, dude, that's a big deal for them.
It is.
It's a big deal for the family.
It is. Well, and for me, you think we are doing fertility treatments. That is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
That you need it from somewhere. It's extra, like,
yeah.
wasn't in the budget
No.
to go have this.
No.
Yeah.
And so to be able to say like, hey, I made $1,000 this week, so
Here.
go give this to the doctor. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into your sponsors. You built this following, highly engaging following. How did the sponsors come about in your world? Did you go look for the first ones, or they start coming to you?
So it's kind of a mixture of both. So I will get approached. I've been approached by, brands that have nothing to do with what I do. So here's where the balance comes in, right? Because it's like you were saying earlier, I could get on there and I could sell to my audience whatever I wanted. But I'm not a salesman.
Sure.
I'm not here to sell.
It was never your intention.
No, it wasn't my intention. And I don't, like I said, I am giving away free content constantly, right? So I don't feel bad being paid for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And leveraging my audience. But the difference in leveraging your audience, like there's different ways to do it, right? Because I can sell a mug, right? I can sell a coffee mug. My audience, I've never talked to them about coffee. I don't like coffee.
Yeah, you like coffee.
Like
Diet Coke, sure,
Diet
let's do
Coke,
it.
yeah. Like, do you have a good Diet Coke mug? Awesome. Like, I will talk about that. Till the end of time. But you kind of have to decide what are you gonna. I'm not just gonna sell out my audience for anything.
And some people do.
They do, and it's actually kind of like sad to see. And I don't want to be a billboard because that's not what I'm about.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm about. So these brands kind of approach you, and you can kind of sift through. I would say it's around 20K. 20K followers is when brands start approaching you. Now, people think that they can't make money until they have 20K, right?
Okay. That
is not true.
Okay.
The benefit of these small audiences is that their engagement rate is super, super high.
Yeah.
When I sold my ebook, I had 50,000 followers, right?
Okay.
And the amount that I sold, like the percentages of what I sold versus who I was talking to is insane. And so that there's this benefit of like having a small amount of followers, that conversion, that dedication, that engagement rate is really, really high. So I don't want people to think that if they don't have 100K or 20K or whatever, that they can't work with brands, because you absolutely can. You absolutely can. You absolutely can make money that way. What I'm getting at, circling back, is that brands will come to you, and you can kind of decipher, who you want to work with, who's going to fit in with your audience, right? Like a coffee mug. If a coffee mug company comes to me and says, "Hey, we want to sell you this coffee mug, blah 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 blah," or we want to pay you to promote this coffee mug, we'll give you a percentage, we'll give you your audience a discount. There's lots of things that can go into it, and I can say, you know what? Like, I actually don't even use coffee mugs. If you want to send me that coffee mug, and I drink out of it, and it's like the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me, like, I'll for sure, like, we can revisit this, because I'm not just going to sell my audience a coffee mug because it's going to make me $1,000. Go
back to the statement you made a while ago. Do random brands, right? Here you are as a DIY. I'm looking at it from a marketing standpoint, right? Okay, we have female. We have 97% female market. We have the demographic 25 to 40. We have as your main one, we have a female, we have DIY, we have flipping of furniture type stuff. If I was in marketing, I would think that if I was in that genre, okay, I would look for you, because that's literally the people that I'm trying to get my product to, whatever it be. It could be a pair of new pliers that I created or whatever. Are you saying that literally like random ass brands that have nothing to do with any of that will contact you?
Yes. So like,
what is their angle?
Their angle is that brands are now catching on to like the influence, right?
Sure.
Like, and you put up a billboard or you put up an ad on TV, it's going to cost you, well, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, right?
Yeah,
like insane amounts of money. However, they can come to me and I can give them the demographics. I can say, this is what they like, this is what they want, this is what they engage with. And they can say, okay, this is hugely beneficial for us. Even if we don't make a single sale on this, this is being spread to our audience. Like this is being, what's the word I'm looking for?
Brand awareness?
Yeah, bringing brand awareness. And these other brands that have nothing to do with what I do, it's just a shot in the dark.
Wow,
right?
So unique.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of like flack that can happen because influencers get frustrated because these brands are like, we'll send you this free stuff and you can promote it, and it's like, but I value my audience. I'm not just gonna promote random crap just to make money. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so let me ask you a question, because this is interesting for me. So let's say that, again, I'm going to stay in the DIY field for a second, right? Let's say that Milwaukee Tools, right, hit you up and said, hey, we're running this Thanksgiving to Christmas, Milwaukee cool promo that we have for this 12-pack of pliers, right, that we have.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a set of them, we want you to use them, and we want you to give you a promo code, and we're going to pay you 10%, whatever it is, making up numbers here, 10% of the sales from Milwaukee. Now, obviously, that has to do with your kind of demographic, because that's tools, that's in DIY, and you have this promo code, they're going to give it to you. Is that stuff that you would then take and say, okay, I'll go do that, and I'll make a 10% rip on it? Or is that something that you would still say as a brand, like, dude, I know it fits, I know it's in my market, I know my people may use Milwaukee, but I don't want to go hit them with this thing just to go make 10% on Milwaukee sales. Like, does that come into it, or like, even though it fits, I don't want to go do it?
Sometimes, yeah, because it can be, I genuinely want to share things that are helpful and beneficial, and I know that people get frustrated, right? You said, like, you see that sponsored ad, and I am trying to shift that mindset where it's like, okay, Andrew, I'm going to give you 10 days of free content. I'm going to teach you how to build your countertop.
Right.
And then at the end of it, I'm going to teach you how to clean your countertop with this product that is sponsored. And I'm going to say, Andrew, like, look, I taught you how to do this, and I gotta pay the bills still too. Like, I gotta do this. So I'm gonna promote this brand that I genuinely use, I genuinely love, and I think you will too. So let me teach you. Let me show you how to do this. And what I want from you as my follower to know. I like the transparency, right? Like, I like my audience to know, like, I am getting paid to tell you about this, but I know this brand and I love this brand.
Yeah.
But you don't want to oversaturate your audience. So what I'm getting into with that is, like, yeah, I use Milwaukee. I would love to share Milwaukee, whatever. But I also need to take into consideration, okay, how many brand deals am I doing right now?
Right.
How much am I selling my audience? I don't love that term, but, like, how much am I already showing, getting paid for?
Yeah, because like,
there's a balance.
Yeah, it goes back to, like, because you create so much content, you're still giving them content of how to use, in your example, ABC Cleaner, which is, there's value of content inside of that. But then there's still selling the end of it. You still got to think through and say, okay, I would just assume right now, just show you how to go clean this stuff with this cleaner, and not let you know, or not try to get you to buy the cleaner. I'm just gonna go clean it and show you how I go clean it, because you have 4 or 5 other pieces throughout it that you have inside of it.
Yeah.
Meaning, earlier you were talking about maybe a saw that sponsored you, that DeWalt's now paying you to push the table saw that you inherited when you were a kid. So too much of it is what will push that customer away.
Yeah.
Even if it does fit as a content piece.
Yeah, because they don't, it's like, you think about it, when you're watching TV, do we do that anymore? I don't know, do we have, I don't, but like TV, okay, Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, when we're watching the Super Bowl, we're there to watch the Super Bowl, but I guess that's kind of a bad example, because half of us are there for the commercials anyway. I mean, that's me.
Commercial and halftime show.
Yeah, exactly. But say you're watching, This Old House, right?
Sure.
There's going to be advertisements, and Bob Villa.
You nailed it.
Bob Villa.
So
when you're watching Bob Villa has to get paid, right?
Yeah.
So there's an advertisement for Cheetos or whatever.
Sure.
Right? And that's just normal. We're used to that. So it's like this kind of transition where it's like, I wish I was Bob Villa. I'm not. But like, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm creating this content for you, and I've got to get paid, and you want to watch it, so you're kind of enjoying it, but you don't want to watch 5 minutes of Bob Villa and 15 minutes of commercials. Right? So it's where you've got to find that balance of, okay, yeah, like, you see people start to get greedy.
Yeah, sure.
And that's easy to do. Like, I can't fault somebody for wanting to make money. I think that's I like to make money.
There's no reason to hide from it. Like, it's part of life.
Yeah. And so you just have to have that balance. It's crucial to have that balance, because you don't just want to be selling out your audience, because they know.
Even if it is content driven, they still know.
Yep.
Even if it does fit, I think there's still a fine line of when and where to do it. Last question I have for you on this topic is, what was it like getting that first, like, big sponsorship where you're like, holy shit, who just called me?
Yeah.
Who they want me to do what?
Yeah.
What was that like? You have these like moments in like your entrepreneurship life where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I went from like painting a nightstand 6 years ago to I just got off the phone with X who wants me to do this. if you can, I don't know if maybe in the age you can't, but who was that one that you got that you're like, I can't believe this? And then what was that feeling like?
So my first ever like big sponsor was with Walmart.
With Walmart, wow.
And yeah, it was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
and they had it. I mean, they could have paid me way more than they
Sure.
did. Like they probably should have, but just to be like, it almost legitimizes you, because I think as an entrepreneur, it's really easy to have that imposter syndrome, right? And as you're an entrepreneur, you get used to that and you work through that. But like that validation, when that validation comes, it's good.
From the outside, like not from a friend of a friend.
Yeah. For Walmart to say like, we actually want you to create this content, and like we've heard, because they were referred. Walmart was referred to me, or referred. I was referred to Walmart, whatever.
Yeah.
But to have that reference from somebody to Walmart, to then have Walmart reach out to me was like, Walmart? This is so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I think there's a big piece of it is just like you said, is like validation.
Yeah.
Like even if it wasn't even a huge financial gain at that moment in time, is there's a piece of like, yes, my mom likes my post. Every time I post it, she's the first one that hearts it, you know.
Yeah.
My friends always maybe are talking about, oh my God, you're doing so great and so forth. But then like when someone out of the blue that doesn't know you, that hits you up, that's like, hey, we want you to do this for us because we know we're gonna make money if you'll go do this. There's that huge, like, I think inner peace, validity, and taking a deep breath or releasing a deep breath. Or like, I think I am gonna make this thing.
Yeah, well,
it is gonna work.
You work so hard. I had a conversation with my brother about something that happened that maybe one day I'll be able to share. But I had a conversation with my brother, and I was like, this is so cool. I feel so lucky. And he was like, no, you're not lucky. He's like, you've worked your ass off to get to where you are. Yeah. Like, and you are worth this. You are like valued, obviously. And I think to like, it's a constant. I mean, that was what, 3-4 months ago, and you're still working through these things and always having these things. But it's really cool. It is really cool.
Super cool. Like when you come to office and you're like, hey, I not that you didn't come in and say this, but as we were talking about it, from my perspective, it's like, holy crap, dude, those are big hitters. Yeah. That are sponsor you, being a part of you, wanting you to get involved with them. Super, super cool. So complete validation at that point. I'm gonna jump over to the last question here on the money is sign. So this is your money is sign with the not sneakers.
Not sneakers.
Not sneakers. Are these the Freebirds too?
Those are the Freebirds. Those are actually the same ones. Is that embarrassing? Should I have worn different ones? Freebirds. I'm getting into the sneakers.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
We have to get to the sneaker game, because if you had sneakers right there,
I know.
like a pair of like cool Jordan 1 lows right there. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be dope. Yeah. That would be a hit. Okay, so don't put money as sneakers. We'll do that one later.
Money is Freebirds.
So come here. I want you to fill this out right here, and then sign it right here. Of course, money it obviously means something more than just, like you said, just a sponsorship. It's not just about making some money or making money inside of the business model. So what does money mean to you? Put it right here, and then me and you will have that conversation about what your answer is. Again, so if you guys want to follow, you can hit up at the Flip Hub on Instagram. It is where everybody can go, and you'll get to see, you got some big plans right ahead of you, right around the corner, that you guys are getting out right now. I think you said I can't say a ton of it, but there's some big plans happening in the next several weeks, right?
Yeah, we are moving. With this year we joked about like 20. It was a hard year for us, and we were like constantly climbing mountains. And so finally, we just decided to go buy a mountain.
Yeah,
We're just gonna go buy it and live there. So we just bought this insane. I want to say insane. I don't mean like a mansion, because it's not.
Right, sure.
But this insane opportunity, this insane life. Like we're just turning
a whole
this
new chapter. Almost a whole new book, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, from where you were.
Yep.
Super, super cool. So if they want to follow you on that journey, which I'm assuming you're going to document the whole thing.
100%.
And flip the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then flip all the neighbors. Houses, spaces around you. I should say spaces, not houses. Spaces around you as well.
Yep.
So again, if they want that, just go to Instagram.
The Flip Hub.
That's the easiest way to go do it.
Flip Hub, 2 B's. Tribute to my grandpa.
Hub is where they should go. Yep. All right, let's see this sign here. See your answer. So Kenna says that money is flexibility.
Yep.
Money is flexibility. I'm thinking through my head right now. I'm scanning on my walls. I don't think I have this answer. Stephanie, can you think of it? I don't think I have this answer. This is my favorite part of the show when I get a new word for my wall. Okay, so money is flexibility. What does that mean?
So having money has allowed the flexibility to
buy a mountain.
To buy a mountain, really. Like
Yeah.
it has given the flexibility to have the choice.
Yeah.
Right? And not a lot of money. We didn't start with a lot of money. I literally started with a $5 can of spray paint, right?
Yeah.
Like, but to have that, you know, I sold my first piece of furniture. I made a profit of say $100, right? Then at that point I had the flexibility to decide what I wanted to do next. If I didn't want to do anything, I didn't have to. So it's been really, really cool to have just the options.
And if you think back on it for a second, your husband and you didn't start your marriage with inheriting millions of dollars, right? Yeah, that'd be a lot easier. But you didn't start that path of it. That's not where you came from. And if you go back for a second and think about where that was when money wasn't there, and then think about the lack of flexibility.
Oh yeah, you're stuck.
You're literally
stuck.
It's like, okay, you have to have a baby, and I would prefer if the woman wanted to stay home and raise the baby, that's what she preferred to do. Dude, I think that's so freaking cool, and to stay home with your child and give them all the love and affection that they want, need, whatever it is, as long as the lady wants to do it. But a lot of times they can't.
They can't. They
can't,
don't have
'cause
that
there is no flexibility.
They don't have, and
there is none.
Yeah, and I learned that by doing what I was doing, I was able to be flexible. I was able to say, like, especially with what I was doing.
Yeah.
I can put my kid down for a nap and then I can do this.
Yeah.
Like that is not something that many people can say.
I think it's part of what drives your tribe and your influence so good or so much engagement is because again, you're helping so many females who probably don't have the flexibility right now, and then learning, dude, I can't actually go flip a couch. Like I can't actually go flip this in table, nightstand, whatever it may be at the time, and do it on the side and pick up extra cash that actually someone is actually giving it away, and I'm gonna go flip it over here or buy it and flip it. I think it's part of what makes your tribe so engaged with you, because it's not just that you're showing them how to do something. I think it actually goes deeper with your tribe, right? Because I was trying to figure out, like, why is your engagement so freaking high, like from someone else's engagement? I think it's what it is. I think it's because you're not just showing them how to do something. Like there's travel bloggers, and it's like, okay, they have a big following, but their engagement's not huge because, like, okay, cool. If I ever need to know how to use my points, I'll hit you up someday, right? I'll go look at your blog. But for you, it's like your tribe is way deeper inside of it because I think it's you're providing that flexibility for women that literally, as you know, because you came from no flexibility and you're helping them provide it. So I think it makes sense to me why your tribe is so engaged with you, because it's not just a DIY, it's like giving them flexibility to go out and actually change their life, just like you did. It makes complete sense to me now. Like I kept, like for the last hour, been thinking, but why are they so engaged?
Why are they there?
I know she's cool, but okay, there's something else. Like, why are they engaged? I think that's it, because you're actually affecting their lives. Like you're touching their lives in a much. It's funny because we brought Susan Peterson, mutual friends of ours, up. You're actually creating impact. Just not influence. So many, like, go back to travel bloggers. It's like. It's influence. Because it's like, hey, here's how these points work, here's how these points work. It's cool. It's a lot of people that follow you because you show them that. But it doesn't really impact their lives. I think what you're doing is actually creating impact, deep impact, because you're helping that family. That extra $800 a month is a huge deal. Go back to flipping furniture gave you the flexibility to have your children. Like, think how deep that is and what that did for you. And now you got to think about what are all those other 100,000 women, what are they getting out of what you're showing them? You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. And your answer, like, fits right inside of it because it's literally what you did and it's what you provide people. Super cool, man. Now I'm like, crap, I got to find out how to engage more besides sneakers.
I can show you how to flip furniture, so you can start
flip furniture. Go at the Flip Hub, and I can learn how to flip furniture with Kenna here. Very cool, man. So excited to have you, and you have such a good freaking heart, man. Such a good, pure, clean, just. I'm not going to use the word authentic because I hate that word now.
I know.
Because it's overused.
It
Maybe
is.
the word is, I'm going to use the word natural. Just like you're a very real, natural person.
Thank you.
I think it comes through when you meet someone, I think it comes through in your social media as well. So congratulations. Love having you on the show. Hopefully we can come back to my office and talk some more. You guys watch the show. Again, this is Kenna. Make sure you guys follow her at The Flip Hub. We'll see you next week on The Money Is Show.